Hey everybody, I want to do a quick overview of how to set up the soundboard for any given worship service here at Zion. This is just a quick down and dirty, make it easy. The first thing we do is we take off the cover for the mixer. The next thing we do, you might want to do, is turn on the light by pushing either the white or the red button on the light. Back here in the back corner, you'll see a power strip. You can turn that on. And if you turn that on and wait just a few minutes, you'll see the board start to light up. You'll see a big X32 come on a screen, and in a few seconds here we should start to see different aspects of the board light up. There we go. Now, just in case turning the power strip on doesn't lighten up the board, you might check down behind the board. There is a toggle switch down here. Black, you probably can't see it with the camera, but that's where you can turn it on if for some reason the power strip doesn't do it. Next thing you can do is come down below and turn on the amplifier. So therefore we have power. So it's down here, it says Precedent Series 1450. Right beside that, about 3 inches over, is a toggle power switch. So now we've got the soundboard on. Now a couple things. First, we need to know, are we dealing with a Saturday service or a Sunday service? So as you look at the screen and then look below to the right of the screen, you see a series of things where it says Scenes. And over here is a small button that says View. And when I click View Scenes, it's going to change the screen here, and it shows me Saturday and Sunday. And right below are a series of dials, or knobs. And so if I take this first knob and I turn it, I can turn it up or down. So if I turn it up to Sunday, and then if I actually, so I've turned it up to Sunday, and then I push in on the knob, it asks, do you want to load the scene for Sunday? And the answer is yes. And clear over here to the right is a button. When I click that, you'll notice now the orange is highlighted. So this sets it up as we normally run the soundboard for Sunday. Now, two main sections of this board you need to be aware of. All the main channels are over toward the left side. So you can see this row of, I think, 4 or so buttons here. Everything to the left of that are our main channels. They are channels 1 through 16, but this actually covers channels 1 through 32. Because you'll see this first button is lit up right now, and that shows channels 1 through 16. And as I look through the screens, you can see the channels have numbers to them. They may have different colors, but they have different numbers. And then if I push the second button, which is channels 7 through 32, you'll notice the knob or the sliders and everything change, because now we've got another set of channels, even though we're using the exact same buttons. On the second set is one important one to be aware of, and that is a yellow button called Pastor. I like that button since that has to do with me. And that should be unmuted, just as it is right now. If you push the button, it's muted. We don't want that. We want it unmuted, generally speaking, so that I can speak. Now, you can still adjust the slider behind that a little if you need to, but it is tentatively preset automatically for where it should be. Now, that's on the Sunday thing. If we were on Saturday, it might be a slightly different configuration, but these are the main channels. Now, here's what's crucial. Over to the right side of these 4 buttons, you don't have to worry about the buttons, but they just help separate the board. There's another main section, and these are kind of like sub-sections that combine some of these switches that are on this side and group them. And if I zoom in a little bit, you'll see one that says Pulpits, and it's blue, and next to it Wireless, which has to do with all of our wireless mics. You'll notice those are both muted right now, and that will not work for worship. So we need to unmute both of those channels, very important, or else no sound will be heard. And then finally, the very right slider says Main, and by default that always goes to the bottom when you first turn on the board. It's a safety device, but that is the main volume that affects every other volume. So you'll need to push that up, and I push it right up to where the 0 is in the middle. So at this point in time, we are set for the service on Sunday. Now, if it were the Saturday service, after we had turned the board on, we would need to come over here to the right, because the screen won't look like this at first. But we come over here to the right, and we see the scenes, and we push View Scenes. And then we will see this screen, and we'll see Sundays highlighted. We're going to take the knob, turn it down to Saturday, push the knob in, then come on over here with my finger, push the yes button, and that selects the scene for Saturday. And the main difference with Saturday is you'll notice the very left slider when I'm on channels 1 through 16. That has to do, you can see it there, the band mix. These are all the piano and the microphones for the praise team. And this slider will go up to this spot when we are on the Saturday service automatically. But some other things still need to be checked. For example, we can check to make sure that our lectern and altar are unmuted. We can hit this button to get the other set up, and we'll look over here and make sure that the pastor is unmuted, which it is. And then in either case, we've got to come over to the second set over on the right-hand side and unmute the pulpit and the wireless. And then, if need be, adjust the volume up to 0 as well. The volume doesn't go down when you shift services. It only goes down when you actually turn the mixer off. When it's time to actually turn the mixer off, what we do is reverse order. So we come back down here and toggle off the amplifier, and then we come back up here and we toggle off the power strip, and then we put the cover back over the top of the mixing board itself. I'm not doing very well here because I'm doing it one-handed, but you get the idea. And then we can push in the middle black button on the light switch, and that shuts everything down. And thank you for tuning in, and hopefully that gives you at least the basics of how to run the soundboard.